Welcome to my Serenity Station. This is Katerina Satori coming to you from Laguna Beach. And I wanted to highlight this topic that is becoming more and more relevant. And it's our ability to transform the stress into power and to return to harmony with the flow of life, to harmony with the rhythm of life. And this is the true challenge in leadership that I see. Because at every level of success, sovereignty, and empowerment, your level of responsibility grows, your horizons expand. You begin to see where else can you contribute, where else can you serve, how else can you lead. And that can lead with a lot of pressure, internal pressure of actually whether you measure up to the challenge, and external pressure of everyone wanting your attention at the same time. So let me know in the comments if you resonate, because I really see this as a powerful challenge that we can learn to face in a new way, a different level of leadership. And I will be able to look at your comments at the end of the live stream. So if you have any question or a comment, something that you experienced, the levels of stress, and maybe even not even aware, because what I'm discovering, darlings, for the longest time, it took me to realize how chronically stressed out I lived. And I would justify it as this is the way of entrepreneurship. You know, if you want to make it happen, you got to do what it takes. And that means, you know, you work 14 hours a day, and those days turn into weeks, and those weeks turn into years. And especially if you live alone as an entrepreneur, you don't have a mirror to reflect your level of being on the opposite side of balance, or opposite side of harmony, right? So the universe in its benevolence often brings us powerful mirrors. They could be our romantic partners, that could be our clients, that reflect us the true state of our nervous system moment by moment. So that's the very first thing. And the second thing, it's, you know, you can understand it intellectually. I gotta let go of stress. Like, how effective is that if we understand it on the level of intellectual? I don't care if I have 10 books on distressing my life. If I don't embody the tools, if I don't embody my ability to find my center, to become an eye of the storm in any storm, I know nothing. And the books on my shelf are useless, right? So it takes a lot of honesty to look at yourself and you say, well, how is my nervous system moment by moment? What is the vibration that I emanate? So it's very powerful, you guys. And I wanted to share with you 2 insights and couple really potent tools that you can apply immediately. And the very first insight is ability to tie in one of the highest value for you towards the motivation behind moving towards harmony. So a lot of people that I attract are in service to others. Your leaders, your entrepreneurs, your visionaries. Doesn't matter what stage of a journey you're in, there is a desire in you to contribute beyond yourself. Is it true? So one of the key motivators for you and for me is service. We want to be of service. We want to be of use to the universe. We want to contribute, right? And to live more in a selfless way. So the big insight is, when I am stressed, I cannot be in service. I literally create ripples of obstruction everywhere I go. When I am stressed, I cannot be present. So I miss a lot of information that is so important for me to not miss at clients' meetings, right? At conversations with my allies, children, romantic partners, whatnot. So when I tied in the cost of me being out of balance to the most important motivating factor, I am more willing to look within and to acquire new tools and to actually change my attitude towards a rhythm in life. So the second insight is I want to take a look at my environment, because my environment doesn't lie, right, darlings? My environment doesn't lie. For me personally, as a woman, if I noticed that I hear the monologue that I don't have time to cook, and if it's one day, it's okay. If it's 2 days, it's okay. But if it becomes a week and then it turns into a habitual way of living, the truth underneath that statement is that I am racing through my days, being a slave to other people's agendas, that I have no sense of awareness that preparing my meals can be the deepest meditative practice for me. So once again, environment never lies, right? So taking a look at what is going on in your environment. Is there a clutter? Maybe you're eating out way too much. Let your environment be the mirror of your place, of your rhythm in the body, in the moment. Once again, there is no shame. There is no shame. This is just a heart-to-heart conversation, what I'm observing from my experience, and it takes so much honesty to look so you could realign to the harmony with life. When you are truly in harmony with life, everything you require for your mission, for your calling, for your ability to savor life magically shows up. It only looks magical when we are out of harmony. When we are in flow with life, magic is the only thing we see. That's what I'm observing, darlings. And once again, the reason I say there is no shame in this conversation, because it is quite stressful to be human at this time in our lives. We all feel collectively great changes upon us, right? Something new is happening. People go through awakening. Some people go through the deep dark of night of the soul. Some souls choose to leave their bodies. How many deaths are occurring left and right, right? So we are cooking in this ocean of great change. And that puts us into this experience of deep vulnerability of being human, feeling the stress of being human, and also feeling the stress for the collective. So I invite you to become aware that not only we generate stressful energy when we are out of harmony, we also become magnets to the wave of collective stress, right? Like attracts like. So it's super, super key to first become aware. Am I doing a bunch of tasks on my to-do list so I could arrive to the point where I can relax? This is the old paradigm that used to run my life, right? I would constantly rush through a ton of tasks on my list so I could savor the moment of deep relaxation in the body. Until I met a good friend who flipped that paradigm to me and said, Katerina, what if you relax and then go after your list of tasks? A completely different approach, right? I look at the list of tasks and it's always going to be long. This is the one thing that I realized, darlings. If you are living a life that you are excited to get up in the morning and live your life fully, your list of tasks will be big quite often, and it's make the exciting tasks. Create new program, meet a friend, take a salsa lesson, cook a meal. That's all list of activities. But it's the energy that we bring towards that task is going to create an experience. So my tool number one, the mindset tool number one, old paradigm, do, so you can relax. New paradigm, relax, and then do, until you feel the point, I'm going to relax again. And what I mean by that, relax your nervous system. At times, begin to visualize and channel like a Zen master kind of approach. And I'm going to give you a tool that one of my spiritual mentors gave me. And it's this very simple tool Some of you will be totally shy of using that in front of others. I totally understand that. But I challenge you to try this tool when you drive alone in the car and nobody hears you. And it goes something like this. You take a deep breath and you like rub your belly maybe, and you take a deep breath and you do this. Ah. You want to let out this primal sound of the pressure of being human. Get primal, feel your body, feel the stress so you can release it. If you don't feel the stress, you're simply being run by it. You allow yourself to feel it, feel the tension, feel the stress, and then release it. And once again, it's deeply vulnerable to be human right now. It is, right? Things become more and more uncertain, or shall we say, we begin to become aware that life is nothing but change. The only thing that we can be certain of is that life is uncertain. So we either find a way to become deeply rooted in something that cannot change, and is our immortal soul. We begin to remember that this life is a beautiful dream. It's very real to our senses. This is one of the reasons we come back to the physical reality as a soul, because it's the ultimate playground of senses and discovery of ourselves through the sensual experience. But if we can hold the perspective that this is a beautiful, exquisite, and very temporary dream, and we can become awake, you become awake within the dream. And you can learn to discharge the collective stress out of your system, and you become more effective leader, because the more deeply relaxed you are in your body, the more you can hear the messages from your higher self or where you really need it next moment, instead of letting your accumulated stress in the body to inform rushed decisions that are out of alignment with the harmony of the nature. And let's see, another mindset upgrade I wanted to share with you is that old paradigm, that is very spiritualized paradigm that I followed for so many years, thinking that this is the sacred way of living life. And it's this idea of transcendence, rise above the human life, rise above your problems, rise above your challenges. Transcendence is a useful tool to a point. It's useful until you develop an ability to look above your life and hold the bigger view of what's actually happening in your life. What chapter are you in? What archetype you're working through, right? What are the lessons that you keep repeating because there's a challenge of learning them, right? So that's where the transcendence is very useful. But there is another aspect that I invite you to experiment, and there's this deep courage to merge with your life, to merge with this wild life full of mystery, full of unknown, full of twists and surprises, and something that you cannot figure out with your mind. So when you choose to merge, you're not afraid of challenges that life comes with. You're not afraid of them. You begin to dance in the challenge. You begin to discover how powerful it is to courageously meet a new day, and to have the ability self-regulate your nervous system, that no matter what comes your way, you recognize divinity in it. So let's summarize. I don't want to have this live stream too long. My question is the question that I ask myself when I forget how harmony feels in my body. I say, Katerina, do you want to feel stress or do you want to feel freedom? Do I want to feel free or do I want to feel stress? Because stress is an addictive response. to what arises in life. Once again, darlings, when I shared with you, I was not aware for many, many years that I lived a very stressed life because, I lived by myself for many, many years. And when I would live with my partners, thank goodness for my romantic partners, because they were such mirrors for me of my unbalanced state. And how many entrepreneurs I know who live alone and they don't have the mirrors of truth to mirror your routine, to mirror your choices, to mirror your environment. So stress can be in a very addictive, habitual way to interact with life. But it's a costly way because we take one step forward and 5 steps back. And not only that, we bring that vibration into our projects, into our creativity, into our new romantic interests, right? So it takes this deep self-honesty to look at this topic and say, it is stressful to be human. And I know that if I teach my nervous system, I teach my body to relax first. Maybe I'll practice those silly sounds that Katerina teaches on live stream. Maybe next time I drive in the car, I just begin to open up my throat chakra and release that build-up pressure from my cells into the space. And I'm just going to observe if it feels better. And then before I begin my list of tasks, instead of waiting to complete it so I can release the pressure, I'm going to release the pressure, and then I'm going to approach a task with calm nervous system. And I'm simply going to observe what feels good, what feels more aligned, and what happens next. That's what I wanted to share with you, darlings. The honest question is, at any point, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? Do I want to be a calm and centered being that moves through life with presence? And what also happens is life begins to feel so rich. You begin to savor your experience. And then the quality of your presence become exquisite. People begin to find any reason to be around you and in your energy because of your calm presence. And that is the beautiful medicine. I really love how Richard Rudd says, presence is the only thing that transforms, that creates transformation. And, I understood it intellectually at first, and then I began to really let that truth into my heart. And I began noticing how people transform simply being in the energy of a person who is deeply here, with a calm sense of being, calm sense of presence. I wanted to wish you a powerful week. Relax your nervous system. One of my favorite sayings that my ally Yvonne de la Flor teaches in her transcendental rebirthing system. One of the key principles she says, it's you simply say to yourself, I'm slowing down. And I really love that. One of the things I learned from Yvonne is this phrase, I'm slowing down. Sometimes you get to have these monologue in your own mind with your own mind. I'm slowing down. I'm choosing harmony. There is nowhere I need to be. I'm right here. And you begin to fall in love with moving through your experience in a slower way. And then you realize that by moving slowly, you actually arrived to a destination that you always wanted to get to, with much less effort and with a lot more joy. Thank you for the gift of your presence. Thank you for the opportunity to share these tools with you. If you would like to leave me a comment or ask me a question, please do that in the comments and I will review them at the end of this live stream. And if you feel inspired to share this live stream with those who you think it could help, please do so. And if you'd like to learn more about my work, you can find me through sending me a private message or going to my website, www.katerinasatori.com. I have this amazing email list that you can join and to receive love notes from me and to stay updated on what's coming next. Thank you. Be blessed. Have a magical week, everybody. And I love you.